massive deals. Welcome to another deal breakdown. This business is incredible. Wholesaling real estate is incredible. And let me explain why with this map, right? I live in Phoenix, Arizona, right? And I'm doing this deal. This deal breakdown is in Port St. Lucie, Florida, all the way across the country, all right? But I didn't pull the list. What happened is I joint ventured with another company in Port St. Lucie because it's a phenomenal market and I've got great friends there, and they wanted to get leads from cold calling. They crush it with mail, they crush it with pay-per-click, they crush it with referrals, but they wanted to add cold calling and they didn't want to add another thing on. They just wanted to get right in. So they reached out to me and said, hey, if we send you the list and you send us the leads from your phone prospectors, we'll split the deal with you 50-50. Phenomenal opportunity. Listen, there are so many different ways to do this business. It is incredible, but I don't have to have any overhead over there besides my callers, which I'm already paying, and a fraction of their time every week is making calls in this market, and it is wildly profitable, but I don't have to have boots on the ground. I don't have to hire acquisition managers. I don't have to understand the values of the neighborhoods in that area. I don't have to build up a cash buyer database. All I have to do is lead generation. The list comes from Port St. Lucie to Phoenix. We take a look at it. We then send it to Costa Rica. This is where I have Americans living in Costa Rica making calls for my company. I've had the same people for the last 4 years. They're absolutely incredible and they do a great job. And so they give us the biggest and best deals that we get come from here. And it's fantastic because a little secret here is there's not a lot of job opportunities in Costa Rica. There's just not. So they're very, very, very motivated. Here, I have found in the continental US, most phone prospectors are always looking over their shoulder, looking for a better opportunity for employment because let's face it, they just don't have, they're just softer. Right? There's just more opportunities here than there is in Costa Rica. So one, they're incredibly reliable. Two, English is their first language because they're Americans living in Costa Rica. So it's a huge advantage for my company to work with these phone prospectors. But it's incredible because then they send the leads to Florida. Florida does the entire deal, does the lead follow-up, does the pre-qualifying, goes on the appointment, gets it signed up, sells that deal, and then they send all the way back to hometown Phoenix, Arizona, half of the profits, which is absolutely incredible. Because on this deal, we technically made $35,000 on a vacant house that was inherited. But we ended up netting about 30, so we made 15,000 on this deal.
Think about this. Think about having a conversation with a property owner and you're calling them on their home, the home that they live in. You call up and you ask them if they would consider an offer on their property and they're saying yes, they would. And you're negotiating the deal and it's kind of a tighter deal. So you're wondering, maybe they have other properties that they would be interested in selling. And it so happens that this one conversation that you had, these property owners also own an apartment complex. All right. And you're able to get in there and you're able to work the numbers and you're able to look at this. And this one conversation gets you an assignment fee, a wholesale fee of almost $800,000, $785,000. Not only that really kickstarts your business and you go on and add an additional $5 million to your net worth over the next 3.5 years. Well, listen, this isn't imaginary. This isn't fake. This is real life for the two gentlemen. These two now full-time. By the way, they've been doing this part-time for the last 3 years and now are full-time real estate entrepreneurs. I'm so happy to bring back onto the show after 2 years of the first podcast that we did. And it is Chai and it is Prakash. Welcome to be back on Wholesaling Inc. to tell your story. I mean, it has just been explosive your guys' last 3 years.
Oh, thank you. I mean, a lot of credit goes to you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, listen, I mean, you guys have an engineering background. Mm-hmm. You love engineering. You wanted to keep being engineers, but real estate keeps pulling you guys in, pulling you guys in.
First call, like number one call he made.
Yeah.
Made us $35,000.
Right.
First lead ever.
Like first lead ever.
Yeah.
And we were like blown away. We were like, we have to do this.
Yeah.
And then he was already following Tom Kroll and these guys on Wholesaling Inc. And
Yeah.
you had just come on.
Yeah.
Oh, this works. Cold calling works. TTP. And we were like, bam, this is our guy.
know.
Like, we have to go.
I remember the first call with you. Like, we were starting out, and there was a big, it was the best investment we ever made.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And just so everybody, so that I can toot my own horn here a little bit. How much have you made since then?
3.5 million in wholesale fees.
I'm gonna. You go ahead, ring that. $3.5 million since that day. I mean, absolutely incredible. It's not rocket science. It truly isn't. It's just making sure that the engine of your business, the lead generation of your business is really running. And you guys have done, once you get to the success that you guys have had, it starts getting to the point. And I'm having this conversation more and more because, I've been coaching now for 4 years, and a lot of the people are very successful. And so they're now at the point of transitioning to how do we really build this into something bigger and do some incredible things. And it's raising funds, right? You guys have done. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's also, I think that the perfect blend for this business is 50% referrals, 50% just regular lead generation,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Building that network, becoming the guys in your marketplace, becoming the spot. That is the perfect blend because one, those referrals, there's no marketing fee to that. That's just earned. You have to earn those referrals by your reputation and by being able to close deals and communicate effectively with people and treat people well. So you should get that keep all of those profits.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you got to keep the engine running with lead generation. But you start seeing that your business really grows through the referrals, and that's really what you guys have been doing a great job in Houston. We're going to be breaking down some people that have that courage, that have sent me their recordings, right? I made a call out. I made a challenge on Wholesale Hotline a couple Mondays ago, and the challenge was to send me the recordings and I'm going to critique them. So I've got a couple here that we are going to break down, and there's some phenomenal action here, all right? Really good skills. We're going to polish them up a little bit so that they're more effective.
Hey Erwin, this is Ray. I was giving you a call in regards to your property at Barry Road.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. The reason for our call is because we're actually looking to buy in the area. I just wanted to give you a quick call and see if you might be open to a cash offer.
What's your offer?
Boom. Right off the bat. Listen, when you ask somebody if they would consider an offer on their property, there's only 6 responses. And you're going to get this more and more and more. What's your offer? How much will you give me? How much will you give me? Ray does a phenomenal job here. Really adjusting to this. He obviously has a lot of experience. He's talking to a lot of people, and he really flows well. Now, did you see how he went with his first name? He asked for the first name. Sounds like a neighbor because he lives down the street from this guy. You know what I mean? These are our community. These are our neighbors. Even if you're doing this virtually, you're working in that community. So reach out to these people as they are your neighbors because they are your neighbors. Phenomenal. I love it.
Yes, sir. In order for us to generate an offer for you, we'll have to ask you a few questions. Do you have a minute or two?
Sure.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about the property there? Is the property vacant or do you have tenants?
See, I don't like this question, all right? So Ray's getting a little bit of nervous energy here, I think. He responded well. Listen, I just need to find out a little bit about the property so that I can get you a solid offer. That's very reasonable. That sits well with the property owners, right? That's going to sit in their mind. They're going to be like, okay, that's okay. If they're interested. If not, they'll hang up or they'll just be like, no, give me an offer, whatever, and then you move on, right? But the There's a little crack. There's a little crack in this in the door here. So he's kind of getting in there, and then he goes, is the property vacant or is it tenant occupied and doing all that? Don't get into that. That's like we're 30 seconds into a conversation with a stranger and you're telling them, you know, who lives at the property. Don't go there. Don't go there. Ask about the condition of the property first.